Hey Fit Fam, it is Coach Rye from Team Flex. Today we're going to talk about the DMS Dragon Bikini Pro, and we're going to look at our top 5 competitors, talk a little bit about the placings, why they landed the way they did, and what it means for you as a bikini competitor out there trying to do your best on stage, no matter your level, by the way. Doesn't matter if you've never competed before, you're competing all the time, you're already an IFBB Pro, you will get a lot of good info that you can use and take to the stage by watching my videos and watching my channel. So if you're not subscribed already, please make sure to hit that subscriber button. And we got videos like this all the time we pumping. So let's get down to business, okay? So here's our top 3, and this is gonna be a little bit of a different analysis because I don't have the best shots in the world of these athletes. I only can use what I can get from online, you guys, but we're still gonna be able to go over it. It's just a little different, so just bear with me on that. Okay, so we got Chao Xian here, and we got Lee over here in second. And then we have Heather in third, okay? So this is where we're going to look at here first and foremost, talk a little bit about these 3 athletes and go over just the criteria here. So we're looking at Chao. What we have here is good width up top, narrow waist, bringing it out into the lower body. So it's our hourglass look that if you watch my channel, I'm always talking about. We got Lee over here, same type of dealio. And then we got Heather over here, really exemplifying it as well. So 3 different physiques, 3 different athletes, still all hitting the basic marker. So I want to go ahead and give you that perspective too. As you watch this and we talk about the differences, we talk about this and that, you know, all of these athletes really do exemplify a good bikini criteria all the way down the board. It's just going to be some differences that we'll find that really do, you know, kind of make a difference. So with this, looking at these shots here, again, keep in mind, not exactly the same shots, not exactly the same, you know, elements, but we can still get to the criteria, okay? So Chao Xian here, she looks like to me that she's got really good shoulder shape, overall good upper body, you know, kind of dominance factor, creating this balance. Honestly, normally when I see a physique like this kind of start popping, I'd be like, okay, a little too big up top. But the crazy thing about Chao Xian here is that her lower body matches it perfectly, right? And this is not something you see a lot in that type of muscularity. So she's got a lot of muscle, and it's really, you know, this bigger width up top for her. The lats are matching nicely though, and then her waist is so small compared to that, right? Like it's a very dramatic taper. And then her lower body, her glutes are popping, they're full. She's got the fullness there, and you know, it's matching with the hamstrings and the quads. And so this is really, even though it is typically a physique that is holding a little bit more muscle than I see in a lot of these bikini comps, it does work. It works really well for her. So, you know, the real thing that we have to talk about too is her conditioning is just nailed. Like her conditioning is perfect from this front. Because even though she has all that muscle, I'm not getting, you know, deep cuts, deep striations, graininess, all that stuff judges don't want to see. We're just not getting that. What we are getting is, you know, the soft lines in the shoulder, a little bit here into the arms, into the glute, and the, you know, glute, quad, hamstring separation, all that perfect, flat abs right where it needs to be, a little bit of oblique line, everything that judges want to see, this kind of softer level of condition. So she really did maximize her muscle there and also brought in the softer level of condition. I would say actually out of our top 3, she's probably the softest there, but it doesn't necessarily look that way because she has such a good amount of muscle. So really good way for her to pull that look together. Now looking at Lee, very comparable here in a lot of ways. She's got a good shoulder shape. She's got, you know, very dramatic high lat sweep, which I think is a really great look for her because it just makes her waist look so narrow. Where she's a little bit different is, you know, in the sense that upper glute, it looks like it's kind of a little bit off, and it could just be this pose. We'll see when we get to the back, which is where, you know, we always talk about bikini being the real thing there. But her glute overall looks kind of a little bit disproportionate to me to her quads and her hamstrings, and her upper glute just looks like it's not as full as it could be. So those could be factors that are playing into it. Otherwise, again, you know, pretty comparable. It can come down to just the most minute of things at these top placings, ladies and gents, so keep that in mind. Now, looking over here at Heather, Heather, I think, brings it all together. Good shoulder, good lat, good waist. Little bit too dominant in the lower body though, and we can really see that popping with her quads and even her hamstrings. I think this is too much, not very symmetrical for that look for Bikini, where everything is symmetry. You know, she's the least symmetrical in the lineup. Her lower body looks very dominant and also leaner. And you know, it could be a thing where she doesn't look actually too much leaner up top than she does any of the other athletes. However, she has so much more muscle in the lower body, it makes her appear leaner. So keep that in mind if you are a bikini competitor out there. You got to make sure your conditioning is matching. Okay, and now this is where I was saying, bear with me guys, some of these shots, I could not even get an actual full back pose of Heather. So that sucks, but that's all right because we're going to look at the, you know, the rest of the lineup here in a second to go over that. But here's where you can really see what I was talking about. So really, Chao Xian, she has just the best symmetry, a lot of good muscle. She really brought it together. Her quads are not overpowering, and it's a little bit of a side angle shot here. So imagine we're seeing this just from the side. That's why her quad kind of looks sweepy. Sweepy, write that down. Sweeping-esque. However, it's not really the case. She really does have, you know, overall good hamstring size right where it needs to be. Really good upper glute shape we can see. Overall good glute fullness, and the separation here is perfect. Very good condition, and her shoulders and everything match. So remember I said it looks like she has a lot of muscle, and that's kind of, you know, in the front, that kind of scares me sometimes when I see that, but she matches it up here. It looks really good. It looks very symmetrical. It looks on point. And conditioning here, again, softer level conditioning. This is like one of the Bikini Pro videos I've done of recent time where that continues to, again, be hammered, in my opinion, by judges saying, hey, don't be coming in too lean. Don't be doing too much of that lean. We want the right condition, but we don't want you to be overdone and over lean. And I think we're seeing that here. So now looking over here at Lee, all the markers that we want to see, everything's good. Shoulders, good taper here. Glutes look good. Her upper glute is lacking though a bit. Like I said in the front, I think this is here. You know, she's got the good shape. It's all there, but you know, it could be a little bit fuller, and I think that that would give her a better edge over Chao Xian at that point. Chao's glutes are very, very full, really showing through. And you know, Lee, little bit is still a very good look, very, very good. This is close scoring, I can tell you that, but you know, it just doesn't really have that same level of pop, which I think is a factor. And over here, obviously, we just said Heather, I don't have a back shot of her, but you can still tell here, you know, there's a lot of density. However, the lower body is clearly dominant. You can see that quad popping. I don't even need to see the back post to know what that looked like, really. Okay, now let's look at our other two in the top five, I should say. I almost said other top five, but it's not. The other two in our top five. Okay, so coming into our lineup here, we got Charlotte in our fourth place slot, and then we got, Charlotte actually in fifth, and then we got Mengru over here in fourth. Okay, so this is compared to, again, our winner Chao Xian, and I think that we get a little bit more of a clear example of criteria. And we've seen a lot of these ladies, actually both of these, competing in another event just a week actual after this one. So you'll probably see that on this channel too. Remember, if you're not subscribed, please hang out and subscribe to the channel. Here's what we're looking at though. Clearly Charlotte, very dominant upper body, okay? So a lot of muscle here in the shoulders, a lot of muscle, even into the traps. I mean, she looks very, very dominant, and this is a look she kind of pulls it together. However, it does look too dominant for Bikini, in my opinion, her upper body, and you know, just her overall even muscularity is a lot of hypertrophy there, a lot of hypertrophy on her part, and it kind of makes her look a little bit too overconditioned, overdone. So more advanced look, more muscle, and more conditioning is not always the answer, especially not at this competition, because she's getting fifth, right? And you look at Chao Xian over here, and she does not have that muscle size. She's not got those traps. She does not have, you know, that level of condition, and she's winning the whole show, all right? And then Mengru over here, she's just a little bit over dominant in the lower body, right? We're looking at her taking fourth, even over Charlotte, which again, I think is a pretty clear message. A little bit too muscular, too dominant over there. But, you know, she's actually lacking a bit in the upper body, and she needs to kind of reshape her physique a bit, either bring in more shoulders or downsize the lower, because her lower body is overpowering her physique. Now, from the back, this all becomes even more blatantly obvious, I think, and that's why I always say these comps are one from the back. So looking here again, you know, Chao Xian, she has that really good pop, everything we talked about. The other two athletes just simply don't have it, right? And it looks like Mangaru's lower body is very dominant. And in this pose, you know, it's almost disproportionate because in the front, her shoulders look like they're much smaller than they do from the back. But even then, her lower body is still so dominant. You know, we got the quad sweep going on here, a lot of dominance going on in the lower body. So it's too much muscle back here for that to really pull that together. It's almost like giving me a wellness-esque kind of vibe, if you will. So, you know, we prefer the more balance there, I think, is what you probably would favor her. And then over here looking at Charlotte, like Charlotte looks so dominant muscle-wise from the front, but the back, it just doesn't match. Her upper body, when she hits the back, is so dominant compared to the lower body. So really what, again, comes down to for her, in my opinion, would be kind of reducing the size of her upper body. And I think that would improve her symmetry a lot and probably favor her better placings on the stage. So all you competitors out there that are watching the channel trying to figure out what to do, no matter what level you're at, keep in mind you don't always want to be jamming, you know, the more muscle on the frame and the more conditioning and chasing the shreds and doing all that stuff, because you really just need to nail it, not go overboard with it. More is not always better, and we keep seeing that be exemplified at these pro events, and that trickles all the way down to your very first competition even. So keep that in mind as you train. If you want to be your best, you got to figure out how to get that shape, and you got to make sure you hit that condition, but don't push it too far in either direction. It will not favor you, all right? And you guys, I want to hear what your opinion are. What do you think? Who should have won? Do you think that this is a mixed bag of physiques, or you think everybody's on point? Do you think that, you know, Charlotte should have won? Tell me. Comment down in the comments below, and stay tuned for more. We got plenty more coming. Thanks for watching. Coach Rye is out.